Good morning, broadcasters. 360 Seconds News and Commentary for Broadcast Professionals is on the air. I'm Maria Kolarova from TKT. Let's discuss the latest technological news with our respected experts, Philip Grossman and Ann Seidler. Don't forget to give the program a like. Cinearray, recently branching out from Cine Group, has launched an advanced 8-camera cinematic array integrating 8 red V-Raptors with Zeiss CP3 lenses. Designed for 360-degree environments, LED volume backgrounds, and specialized VFX shots, each camera provides an 8K image. The array, supported by CVP and CVF, is set to feature in major upcoming releases. So, Philip, unpack this a little bit.
So it's pretty amazing. I did some back of the napkin calculations. That rig is able to build or create a roughly 260 megapixel image. So I have a feeling that it was primarily built for the Sphere in Las Vegas, the new supergiant dome. But it is, as we're doing more and more volumetric, more and more sort of VR related stuff, and people want to sort of capture some of this stuff as plates to be used in these systems. This thing is fantastic for that. I mean, I'm, a red shooter, and I love my red just mainly because I can do, 8K imagery and then pull, 35 megapixel stills out of that imagery. So it's going to be interesting. It's a very, very specialized rig. I don't know if they'll sell many of them. I mean, they'll sell enough to saturate the industry, but saturating that part of the industry is probably not that difficult.
All right, now moving on to Teradek. Teradek has launched the Prism mobile backpack, a 5G broadcasting tool optimized for 4K HDR video, designed for global news and live events. It features Teradek's 4K bonded cellular encoder and up to 4-node 5G modems. The backpack offers flexibility in modem encounter and encoder, and battery choices support direct uploads to camera to cloud platforms and ensures faster speeds with 5G support. So, Philip.
So, I mean, this is interesting. So, Teradek is sort of moving into the TVU world and the live view world with these bonded cellular systems. Obviously, with 5G, especially if you're in a facility or in an area that has the millimeter wave tech, and you're talking about a gig of bandwidth per modem. Obviously, it's typically is only in dense cities, but out in the field, and as we get more and more 5G. These units are really going to be it's displacing all of what was satellite and microwave transmission. It's making it so much easier for people to collect news, collect live events, sporting events, just over a cellular network. So it'll be interesting to see, if somebody else pops up in the market. Obviously, Teradek was a big creator of transmission-based hardware in the film industry, and now they're just taking it to that next step of incorporating in the bonded cellular technology.
I thought it was interesting, Philip, because last week we talked about, well, how many people are really using 4K? And here we go again. Yeah. So do you think it will start to be that all of these manufacturers are offering this, so the broadcasters will say, okay, we've got to go, or?
So I think one thing I think is interesting is that the 4K. I remember distinctly seeing a presentation at Sony Pictures around why the Lucille Ball did so well, held up. It's because it was shot on the latest technology, video at the time. It was higher resolution than film, and sort of the same thing here. Sort of future proofing is that they're going to use a lot of this 4K capability, I think, for capture, not necessarily live to air, although it will go live to air, but they'll capture at 4K. So they're going to have that, sort of that future-proof resolution when we get to the point where 4K becomes more ubiquitous. And I think with OTT distribution and all these alternate methods for distributing content, you're going to see 4K pick up. I'm more excited to see HDR than anything else. The 4K is interesting. I wish they focused a little more on HDR. That's a little more realistic on things. But yeah, I think that you're going to see an adoption. It's just going to be in different areas, and then is it the tail wagging the dog or the cart before the horse or whatever the acronym or the statement is. But I think that's going to be a big driver.
All right, now moving on to Haivision. Haivision has released a new software version for its Makito X4 video encoder, boasting a revamped user interface aimed at optimizing video encoding and streaming workflows. The dashboard offers real-time monitoring of active video sources, stream statistics, and status indications. So, Mary, I know that you were curious about this.
Yeah, this is, I love, I was reading more about it and they really, really are pushing. This is not just low latency. This is ultra low latency. And, who can use this? Okay, we know broadcasters would use it, but they were also really promoting the fact that this can be used in corporate and it can be used in government, when they're having a conference, and also the military. I'm not sure what they were using it for, but and it was interesting that they were going into different markets. It uses SDI, plus it uses, yay, my favorite, 2110-30. So just makes the world of connectivity easier. Philip, what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I just see them, the embracing of that corporate market is very important. That's that extension, that's that AV world is now coming into this compression. I think their update, their software, making it simple just goes to show that it's not going to be all engineers using it, and they sort of realize it. So they've got to make it a lot simpler for that end customer to use it.
All right, well, that's all of the time we have today. Many thanks to our experts, Philip and Mary, and don't forget to comment on the news that we've discussed. See you next Monday at the same time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.